Welcome to my performance analysis video for Genshin Impact's 4.6 update on PS5. Before we get to the usual bouts of tests, I wanted to get some frequently asked questions out of the way. If you're not interested in this section, use the chapters or pinned comment with chapters to skip it. How much storage does Genshin Impact take on PS5 now, and where do you have it installed for these tests? The game currently takes 101.8 GB and it is installed on the internal default storage of my original fat model disk PS5. If I change my console's resolution, will the game perform better than this video? No, it will not. Genshin Impact runs at 4K internally regardless of your PS5 set output resolution. The only benefit you could see is better anti-aliasing due to the super sampled image, but that is assuming you're running the game on a 1080p display. Is there a performance mode or quality mode? There are no selectable graphics modes in Genshin Impact for PS5. The only graphics options you have access to on PS5 are motion blur, VSync, and brightness. Can a VRR display help with the framerate issues? Unlike Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact does a better job at maintaining a framerate above 48 FPS, which is the lowest allowable framerate window for VRR to work on PS5. So assuming you avoid scenarios that could cause drops below 48 FPS, you should have a much smoother experience with VRR enabled on PS5 than without. Can you use a keyboard and mouse to play the game on PS5? Unfortunately, a keyboard is currently limited to the in-game chat, so mouse and keyboard controls do not currently work on PS5 for Genshin Impact. You can, however, use gyro for aiming with a controller. This video is too long, just tell me if it's better than the last update. Yes, I have actually received this comment before, so for those who thought to leave it again, this update seems to actually be mostly beneficial to the game's overall performance. Load times are improved while in-game, and the frame rate seems generally more stable with elemental bursts causing most of the performance hitches. I would really appreciate if you'd watch the whole video or the sections that interest you, but I understand that some people have TikTok brains now. Did that bug from your last video get fixed? Not yet. I double-checked right before putting the final version of this video together. The patch notes don't acknowledge the issue either, but since other games on my system have no graphical errors, I'm going to just assume that this is a bug and not a dying PS5. I experienced a very similar bug in Fortnite Save the World on Xbox Series X a few years ago, and that was fixed eventually. Now we get on to the usual tests. First up, launching the game from the PS5 dashboard to the game's main menu. Then after that, it will be a load test from the main menu to the game itself. The load times are counted in seconds and 60ths of a second, and to optimize this section based off of data from YouTube Studio, I have sped up the clips by 2x. The results are still displayed as if they were real time though. Feel free to skip straight to the framerate performance testing if that is what you'd prefer to watch. I will stop talking now until the end of the video where I will give you my closing thoughts.
Your grand finale!
Order guide you! Attaboy! Stabilize!
Strike is one! I am the cutting edge of fashion! Let's go!
Oh, coming through! Stabilize!
Buckle up! Ha!
Don't be a killjoy! Judgment is upon you! You stand condemned! Miscalculated. Guilty! Your penance is due!
You asked for it! Look alive! Winter shall eventually come.
Gather!
Hi!
Through me, justice is served! Guilty! You stand condemned! Stabilize!
Break a leg!
Order guide you. Solidify!
Disruptive color! Scatter!
Gather! Gather!
There is no escape! Higher, higher, hands on fire! Go as one!
Solidify!
Shine down! Go!
I will have order! Gather!
Now you shall perish! Jaw's over! Strike a pop! Obey! Whirling snow! Embrace the ice! Manifest! Do your master's bidding! Time to shine! My apologies! Sakura swirl! Unleash! Oh! Let's dance! Manifest! By ordinance divine! Whirling snow! Yeah!
Solidify!
Strike is one!
This is order!
Lend me a hand!
I will have order! Who wants some of this? Bam! Attaboy! Gather!
Illusion shatter! Wind, hear me! Fire hazard!
Order guide you! Solidify!
Go as one! Here come the fireworks! Now you shall perish!
I will have order!
Let the show begin!
Another test subject.
Make way for the ears of the storm! Time to shine! Yoo-hoo!
I got hers. Pay your dues.
Seize the skies! Ready, steady, go! Stop that! Let the world come alive! Have fun with this gift!
Solidify!
And step. I am cutting edge of fashion. Next customer.
Attaboy! It's showtime! Let's roll! Stabilize!
There is no escape. See? Time to go. Shine down.
Solidify! This is order!
Wind, hear me. Torn to oblivion. There is no escape.
I will have order! Stabilize!
Go. I see everything. Sharing my knowledge. Illusion shattered. Game's up. Fun's over. Now you shall perish.
This is order!
Everyone hold in. Shine down. Busted. Torn to oblivion. Thunder. Unleash. Cryo incarnate. Your verdict is decided. Embrace the ice. Let my name echo in song. My apologies. Manifest. Illusions are but distractions. Let's dance. Shattered. Kami-sato out. Summon. By ordinance divine. Time to shine. Thunder. Unleash. Your verdict is decided. Pathetic. Weak. Pathetic. Weak. Be gone. Unthinkable. This body is eternal. Obey! Manifest! Do your master's bidding! Embrace the ice! Let the show begin! Shower me with praise! Let the world come alive! Purge all obstacles! Obey! Manifest! Cryo incarnate! Take flight! Witness the final calamity! I'll protect us. Unleash! Whirling snow! There is no escape! Time to shine! Manifest! Eternity! Take flight! In my hand! Sakura swirl! Yep. By ordinance divine.
If you watch the whole video, I wholeheartedly commend you. Not many do. As you saw, the load times in-game were improved for every region except for Mondstadt, which weirdly got worse. But I think it still has an acceptable load time. The framerate performance seems to be pretty stable for most gameplay scenarios, assuming you aren't using elemental bursts a lot, especially ones like Hu Taos or Cloud Retainers. The most volatile characters for performance seem to be unfortunately my favorites, which are Catalyst-based characters. But as I said with my Honkai Star Rail video, the performance drops in Genshin Impact won't end with you losing battles. The game also seems to recover quite quickly, and my video has plenty of evidence of that. Now Zenless Zone Zero, on the other hand, has performance issues that will make you lose battles, but that will have to wait for my next video. Thanks for watching, and if you wish to see more content like this, please leave a like and a comment, otherwise YouTube doesn't seem to recommend my content to others. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, especially if you want to see that Zenless Zone Zero video, which hopefully doesn't result in any kind of repercussions from Hoyoverse. Once again, thanks for watching.
What did you say?
Why don't you talk some sense?
Do your worst.